Uganda, welcome back from the business desk, and this is time for the agenda. Uganda, good morning Uganda. I almost said Uganda good morning, but the show is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. Now, Gira Moses, thank you so much for getting in touch. You are reporting a bare wire that fell on the road along Ngeta Road after an update checkpoint, and you say that it crosses through the road. Please come for rescue. Surely, indeed, we do hope UEDCL has received this message, as we've made sure that it reaches the right people to indeed send the rescue that's needed. Thank you so much for being that active community member in regards to information. But because at the end of the day, information is key, and it saves a lot of lives, time and resources. Once again, thank you so much for watching UBC TV. GMU Tourism Express did talk about matters environment, and we're sticking to the same lane. Be part of the show, 0709 602 592. WhatsApp by text and engage. Now, last year, Munini K. Mulera authored an article with the title, Uganda's Excellent Anti-Noise Pollution Laws Need Serious Enforcement Now. To his article, some of the comments that came through read as follows. Ha ha ha, if you think you have heard noise, think twice, my friend. The rate at which today's churches spring up in residential areas like in my village, Bugolobi, just make the disco or bar as quiet as a grave. This past Sunday, there was a traditional worship service across the road, and yes, traditional big worship service with long drums lined up for the whole village to see. The harsh sound could be heard across the valley all the way to Mutungo Hill and beyond. The worshippers were well secured. Freedom to worship at its best. I now fully understand the beauty of village life. Another respondent came through and said, called PK from Kampala, wrote, I've read your article on noise pollution, and I agree with you 100%. The situation is totally out of control and no one cares. There's a house in my neighborhood whose tenants turned it into a restaurant or bar with loud music several days in. On Easter Sunday this year, the party was at full blast music. Started at 6 p.m., ended at 7 a.m. We could not sleep that night. We complained to the manager and then went to the Kampala Capital City Authority to lodge our complaint. For a few weeks, the noise was toned down. However, KCCA did not really care. They make promises and give you a telephone contact to call when the noise is too much. That's all they do. Another respondent from Rujumbura came through to that article as well and said, I always knew that noise was a cause of mental disturbance, but never knew other health effects. Thank you. Now you should know that even Yom Paro has not been spared. Some of the comments as to how they've been affected at an individual level, a day-to-day lifestyle by noise pollution. Let's talk about noise pollution and its impact on human health and environment. To have this conversation with us is Bate John, an environment inspector for noise, air quality and noxious smells. Once again, be part of the conversation, 0709 602 592. Bate, good morning.
Good morning, Julie.
A pleasure having you this morning.
Likewise.
Right. You are the environment inspector. So for clarity and beef to today's conversation, as inspector of noise, what does your JD look like in a layman language?
Generally, in regard to noise, we carry out inspections. We normally receive complaints from people, from various places in regard to noise pollution, from bars, from churches, from construction sites, and from events organized by people. So when they lodge in their complaints, it's upon us to go and carry out the inspection to really find out whether there is noise. But in most cases, we find noise on the ground.
Interesting. I love the fact that those affected can lodge in their complaints. And we'll talk a bit about the lodging in and how best they can access And of course, what is noise and what isn't, because by the time you go to inspect, that means there's a determinant of what is noise and what is not. But on that same note, how does NEMA define noise pollution?
It's not NEMA in particular, but it can be a global definition because noise affects everyone globally. But noise is disrupting sound that disorganizes maybe someone's activities, someone's well-being, and affects human life and generally the environment in particular. And it also affects the ecosystem. So when sound is played above the permissible limits, because there are limits of which someone must operate, if it's played beyond the permissible limits, then it becomes noise.
Permissible limits. What are those permissible limits?
Those permissible limits are given. They are in the National Environment Noise Standards and Control Regulations in schedules. You realize that the noise limits for a residential area are not the same as those of a mixed residential. Pure residential is different from a mixed residential, and it's different from a factory setting or where their business is taking place. Yes.
Now on that note, just take us through the seriousness of this matter. How serious is noise pollution as an environmental issue in Uganda today?
It's really a serious issue because we have received overwhelming complaints from people. So that is an indicator that it's really serious and it affects people from especially bars and churches. The major contributors of noise pollution are bars and churches, though we can also get instances of maybe construction sites, but majorly bars and churches. And also mosques, yes, but not so much as such, but majorly bars and churches.
Now that brings me to the source of the noise pollution. You've given examples majorly, churches and bars and a few mosques there. But let's look at also the sources in urban centers and rural centers. One would even think that rural centers don't have noise pollution. But just paint a larger picture of sources of noise pollution, urban and rural.
So you realize that in urban, like as I've said, bars, churches, we also have transport means.
Yes.
For example, when there is jam and people are hooting, it's also a source of noise pollution. Over congestion of borders, it's also a source of noise pollution because they keep on hooting.
Are Subaru drivers on this list?
Exactly. As long as someone permits above the permissible limits, our issue is about are you polluting above the permissible limits, regardless of whether it's a bar, it's a church, it's a machinery, it's a generator. So Subaru people are also inclusive, very inclusive. Yes.
Very profound at that. In case you're just joining in, we're looking at noise pollution and its impact on human health and the environment. Be part of the conversation, 0709602592 by text, WhatsApp, and learn and relearn. Ask that question, share your opinion. At that, we have Bate John, who is an environment inspector for noise, air quality, and noxious smells from the National Environment Management Authority. Good morning. Let me see. Good morning, Uganda. This is Had Jonan from Masindi. Oh, I'm sorry. You said that your television set was stolen. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that happened to you. Praying that you're able to replace it or even, find the one that was stolen from the thief, and perhaps the thief also receiving the repercussion that they deserve. But thank you so much for getting in touch and being part of the UBC family this morning. Now, Bate, let's look at noise pollution over the years. How has it changed in the last decade or maybe 2 decades?
There has been an increase in noise pollution, I would say.
I think it's quite evident.
So the graph is just shooting higher.
Yes.
Reason being is you realize that places that were initially residential places, I would give an example like Kololo, people have introduced bars.
Bars, yes.
So in that case, so we expect noise pollution to increase. You realize that I talked about traffic jam and congestion of cars. So over time, people have bought many cars, which is not bad. Yes, but of course it has also led to an increase in noise pollution. Yes, so it has really increased
over the years.
Yeah, over the years, because even the complaints we are getting indicate that there are very many people complaining about noise pollution, implying that it has really increased. Because the noise generating places like churches and bars have increased, and even other activities, I would say like welding, because it's also a source of noise pollution. Generally, increase in multiple urban settings, urban developments have led to an increase in noise pollution due to the activities that take place.
And from the examples you shared, therein it looks like the increase is due to economic growth. But yeah, majorly economic growth if you think about it. Because those who are setting up bars, it's an economic activity.
Yeah, true. It's an economic activity, which is not really bad because it's good for national development. But still, it has to be regulated following the laws, because there are laws in place and regulations in place.
Yes, and the number of cars that have, or vehicles that have increased, it means that people are earning quite enough to ably afford a vehicle. So it's an indicator of economic growth, but also...
Yes, so I would also give an example. Like if a car is in a poor mechanical condition.
Yes, DM says.
Yes, those ones you expect also, you expect noise, of course. So, yeah, those are some of the contributing factors.
Yes.
Much as there is economic development, but still there has to be a regulation. People should not just hoot anyhow. So I think hooting should also be an offense. That's what that would be my opinion. But anyway,
interesting opinion there. One would wonder if it's now supposed to be taught in driving school for those who attend driving school.
Yes.
How to hoot and what levels at which one should hoot. Most people do not know that there are laws, like people playing music out loud, and if you tell them to reduce, they said it's their business, especially those sending music and videos. I think maybe selling music and videos, plus people with speakers in front of their room. This is Frankwell from Gulu. Thank you, Frankwell from Gulu, for coming through. And indeed, he's right. When we come to matters law, most people don't think it's actually illegal. In that same spirit, let's look at the laws and regulations that are guiding NEMA in managing noise pollution.
Thank you so much. Number one, we use the Constitution of Uganda. Article 39 clearly states that every Ugandan has a right to live in a healthy, free environment. So what does it imply? It implies that you should be mindful of someone's health. Because when you pollute, you're affecting someone health-wise. So that's number one, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Another one, we have the National Environment Act, CAP 181. The National Environment Act, CAP 181.
True.
Yes, initially it used to be called National Environment Act of 2019, because it was developed in 2019, but now those acts were given caps. So now it's CAP 181. Yes. So it has section 106, which also talks about noise pollution. What someone must do, what someone must put in place to ensure that noise is controlled. And we also have the National Environment Noise Standards and Control Regulations of 2003. They were developed in 2003. They are the ones we are still using up to now. But there is, it's under review, and so yeah, efforts have been undertaken, and a new regulation is soon coming out. I don't know which particular month, but possibly this year.
All right.
Everything will be finalized.
We are definitely looking forward to that, because someone Ndugwa Freeman Baleke says, good morning, UBC. This is Ndugwa Freeman Baleke of Kawempe 2. Please, can you help us and remove for us Bizindalo? Bitumazeko emirembe. Wonder what you would say to Ndugwa on the issue of Bizindalo.
No, he's very right. Because noise pollution is a nuisance. It disorganizes you. I mean, it disrupts your day-to-day activities. If you have children at home, they can't concentrate. Generally, he's very right. I would advise him to log in a complaint to NEMA. We shall respond. We always respond.
Yeah.
Yes, he attaches his contact on the complaint. So we give him a call and get to know the details, the location of the place, and we respond. But still, nevertheless, much as we are the mother body in regard to regulating noise pollution, but still also work hand in hand with the local authorities, the urban authorities, and generally in Kampala, work hand in hand with also KCCA. Yes. So KCCA can handle. But where someone sees that it's beyond control, then you come directly to NEMA. So it's upon him. He may come directly to NEMA, or he may first engage the local authorities. So if it's outside the Kampala, of course KCCA is not into
outside,
that. Yes. So in that regard, then of course the local authorities of that particular locality will handle, because in Uganda every district has district environment officers. Yes, and so they can take action, and we have also empowered them, and we have supplied enough noise meters to them, and we have trained them on how to carry out the measurements and regulate.
Profound, yes. Because as we started this conversation, I read a comment from someone who was responding to an article. An author wrote, Munini Kemolera, who wrote an article that's titled, Uganda's excellent anti-noise pollution laws need serious enforcement now. And somebody came through who said that they had issues with their neighbors having polluting noise and disorganizing them, and they reported to KCCA that just gave them a telephone number to call whenever the noise was up. So it looks like the KCCA in that moment also did not do much or help much. How would you advise, for example, if this person sent a text and just said, I approached the KCCA and nothing substantial was done? How would NEMA respond to that?
So I will not talk on behalf of KCCA.
Yes,
yes, true, because I don't know how true it is. So, but I'll talk on behalf of NEMA. So if at all maybe it happened, of which I may not say whether it's true or not, let him come to NEMA, address the letter to our ED, and then we shall receive it at the registry, capture it, and then it will be given to various inspectors. We have many inspectors who can handle that. Yes. A
question comes in for you. Good morning, Uganda. This is Odaro Vincent from Tororo. What measures is NEMA taking to regulate noise pollution in factories, industries, bars, etc.? What is done to those who violate them?
Oh yeah. So he has talked of factories, bars. So I will break it down.
Factories, industries, bars,
so
etc.
Yes, I'll break it down. I will not generalize it because bars and industries have different limits of the permissible limits of which they must operate. So let me first talk about bars. In regard to bars, when we go to inspect, we give them an on-site report, and on that on-site report, we are telling them the measures they must put in place to ensure that there is no noise pollution. Some of those measures include doing soundproof, if they can. Others may include reducing and operating below the permissible limits. Because if it's an open place, there's no way how they can do soundproof. The only way out is to ensure that the noise is played at permissible limits that are below. Basically, that's what we do. We give you an on-site report. and we keep on monitoring you.
Right.
Then we serve you with an improvement notice, which is copied to the area LC1, police of the area. When we come back and you have not really changed to that effect, we may issue with a stop notice. And if you have continued polluting, then we take other measures, which may include impounding of your machines, because we have warned you several times, and it's on record that we have really warned you, and you have signed our documents, and also proceed you in the courts of law. That's what we do basically on bars and churches.
Right.
So now when it comes to industries, those industries, we encourage them to ensure that they put in place measures to control noise pollution, sound barriers, because a factory or an industry, that's a big entity that can afford doing soundproofing. So basically that's what we tell them.
Right. We are looking at noise pollution and its impact on human health and the environment. 0709602592. Text by WhatsApp and be part of the conversation. We have Bate John, who is the Environment Inspector for Noise, Air Quality and Noxious smells from the National Environment and Management Authority. Let's look at indeed the effect and impact on health. Long term, what are the short term and long term impacts on health?
I may not necessarily break them down, because what I may term as a short term could be a long term. Or
could be relative.
Yes. So basically, I will just generalize. It causes hearing impairments, damages the ear. It disorganizes. It's a source of stress and fatigue.
True.
You know, you have just come from work, you want to rest, and someone is really polluting. It disrupts communication. There are these people who study online. So you're studying and music is being played at a loud volume. It really inconveniences. Another one, it leads to increase in high blood pressure, of which that one, because if it leads to high blood pressure, then it can lead to heart diseases.
That's true.
Yes. And disrupts sleep. You can't sleep very well. Learners lose concentration in case they are reading their books. So generally, it's a nuisance.
Indeed.
On human health.
Right. Looking at some of the comments coming through, please let's spread the information to all business people, including speakers, so that they respect others, because in other areas you can't even talk with your phone. You can't talk over your phone just because of the speaker noise. Let's teach people. This is James in Kitgum. Thank you, James, for being on the show. Hi, good morning. Thank you for the show. I'm Kenneth from Lira. Please, John, Dr. John.
I'm not a doctor.
He's not a doctor, though. But he is an environment inspector for noise, air quality, and noxious smells from the NEMA. But you say, please, John, educate more about the limits of the acceptable sound levels. Give us typical examples or its decibels. I believe you can speak into this.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, the decibels or the permissible limits depend on the zoning. If it is pure residential, meaning that there are no other activities taking place that are going to cause noise pollution, for daytime, it's 50 decibels. And our daytime runs from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
That is our daytime in regard to noise. And then for nighttime, the decibels are 35 decibels. Nighttime running from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Then, if it's mixed residential with some commercial and entertainment, meaning it's a residential area, but at the same time there's some commercial entertainment. The decibels for daytime is 55 decibels.
And for clear examples, I think this would apply to areas like Kololo. Because right now with Kololo, you find bars, homes at the same time.
Yes. So Kololo initially was a pure residential, but now it is turning into mixed residential.
Mixed residential.
Yes, I'm not yet finished. For daytime, it's 55, and for nighttime, it is 45 decibels for mixed residential.
Right.
That's for nighttime. So you realize that in most of our operations, the settings are now mixed residential.
That's true.
Getting pure residential, they are there, but they are very few. Yes, so those are the limits.
And then is there the purely economic areas, decibels that govern the purely economic areas?
Yes, for example, like in those industries, yes, industries. For the case of industries, those decibels are 75.
That's daytime.
We may generalize daytime and nighttime because an industry runs throughout.
Right. Very profound. A lot of things to learn and relearn as we talk about noise pollution in Uganda and its impact on human health, but the environment as well. Before I continue, let me just dig and sweep away all the comments coming through. Please assist us with personal contacts. Okay, that will be up to Mr. Bate to indeed act upon. Hi, I'm Bingo Salim from Kamoli District. Thank you for the program. Thank you, Salim, for being on the show. I'm Kimaleni Michael from Bududa District. Thank you for the show. Please, I'm just thanking you for the program. Greetings. Okay, greetings to your wife, Montoni Rebecca. Thank you very much for getting in touch. Someone says here that NEMA should stop deceiving us. We have a general nearby. This is somebody from Panyakol in Bugolobi. And you say that you have a general around you and he's very good at noise pollution. This applies to areas like Kololo and Bugolobi. Interesting. I believe that is something that you would definitely report to NEMA. Have you reported to NEMA and what feedback have you received? It would be nice for you to share those facts as well so that Mr. Bate is able to speak into the matter. Good morning. NEMA sees these things happening but offer selective application. Just like those building in wetlands, they need to earn our trust first by not being partial. Thank you. This is Joshua from Mbale. What would you tell Joshua?
In regard to wetlands, there is a wetland specialist. So I will not talk in regard to wetlands.
Yes, and I think
because I may not have that authoritative kind of voice to speak about it. There is a wetland specialist. So in case questions in regard to wetlands are asked, I think maybe one time you can host him here to...
Definitely so.
Yes.
And I think his issue was more on the side of the law and applying the law. He feels that NEMA is sometimes selective. Some people are left, some are dealt with. Is it really true according to what his observation is?
So if it's about noise, I'll speak about noise. If it's about wetland, I won't speak about wetland because that one has a specialist on it. So in regard to noise, we're not selective. Right. So when someone logs in a complaint, we go regardless of whatsoever. So we have inspected bars of people that maybe people think that they are of high profile and things like that. But you realize that at times, we do a lot of sensitization, but you realize that some people are not sensitized well. So we continuously carry on the sensitization issue. So we don't carry out selective measures. Yes, we attend to each and every one.
And speaking of sensitization, what initiatives has NEMA put in place to make sure that the public is aware, in line with building public awareness on noise pollution?
We have an entire unit at NEMA about awareness. So it organizes workshops and carries out awareness programs, sensitizes people on various activities, what NEMA does, and the enforcement it carries out. So we have carried out sensitization, and we would also like to thank UBC for this program because this is also sensitization itself.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Now let's look at away from human impact. How does noise pollution affect wildlife and the general ecosystem?
Yeah, it really does, because you realize that those animals and birds have behaviors. So if noise if for example there is high level noise that is produced, it disorganizes their mating periods. Yes. It disrupts their eating habits. That in case maybe there is high sound, maybe for example blast is made, animals will automatically escape.
That's true.
And it brings imbalance in the ecosystem, because the prey and the predators, they will be in balance, whereby the prey may leave that ecosystem and yet the predators are there. So the predators may have nothing to eat. So it disrupts also their sleep.
Yes.
Yes, and it also causes habitat loss in a way that they will migrate from one place to another because of noise pollution. So generally in national parks, there shouldn't be anything to do with noise pollution.
At the end of the day, it affects the whole tourism economy.
Yes.
At that. Now, good morning, team. Thank you for this wonderful program. Now, severally, as a community, we have raised concerns regarding noise pollution from a facility operating as a bar and restaurant, a washing bay during day, and the other during night, a bar and restaurant during night. The proprietor has been approached by different officials but has remained uncooperative. Do we have special avenues we can invoke to resolve this challenge? I believe the owner has compromised officers. Please provide guidance on a sustainable solution. There is this bar just near Buziga Country Resort.
So, yeah, we have received the cases whereby someone is operating a restaurant. In a restaurant, there shouldn't be anything to do with the noise pollution. Just some small cool music for people who have come to have something to eat and to have something to drink. But you realize that someone changes the restaurant operation into a bar. So this is what I would advise. You see, those restaurants are given licenses of operation. So if any licensing entity gave that restaurant a license to operate generally a restaurant, and it has been turned into a bar, then I would advise they cancel their certificate of operation. Yes, but still, much as it's indicating a restaurant, but they are operating a bar and they are polluting, we still go for them because they have violated the law.
Right. Hi, this is Timothy from Kumi. Thank you for the show. Thank you, Timothy, for being on the show. And somebody else comes through and says the industrial area is in wetlands, okay, and the pollution in it causes it is terrible. Whether noise or waste, it's just not right. Can we have industrial parks 20 kilometers away from township and residential settings? All right. The author here is talking about industrial parks being closer to residential areas where they affect, of course, by the environment in line with wetlands, but also the noise they emit affects residents, and is asking if industrial parks can be 20 kilometers away from township and residential settings. What does the law say about industrial parks and their existence within residential areas or mixed areas?
So you realize that a mix-up of an industry in a residential area has to do with the physical planning. So you realize that because if they're issuing out a license of operation, someone to operate, I think they must have done some feasibility study to see that since there is already an existing residential area, it's not fit for maybe an industry or a factory to be in such a place.
Right.
But where it so happens that it is in such a place, because it can also be a source of employment to the local people within. So if it is within a residential area, then that one implies that measures have to be put in place to ensure that there is no noisy pollution.
Right.
So a factory can also likewise be within a residential area as long as it addresses all the environmental issues. There is no noise pollution, there is no bad air getting out. It has put in place all measures to ensure that there is no pollution. It is using the best technology to ensure that there is no pollution. It has the soundproof. In case of air quality, it has scrubbers to ensure that the air that gets out does not affect the community. Yes.
Now, in line with the regulations, what challenges is NEMA facing in implementing regulations?
One, some people are not aware, though others are aware of the law.
Okay.
So when you go to enforce, in fact, at times when we go at night to enforce, because most enforcement is done at night, inspections, we normally inspect at night. People ask questions that, does NEMA also operate at night? And yet bars and churches normally pollute at night.
At night, yes.
So they only know NEMA in the umbrella of wetlands, most of them. So they don't know that NEMA enforces noise. So most bar owners, when you try to engage them, at first they become hesitant because they are ignorant of the law. But after several engagements and awareness, they get to know that there exists a law, and if it's violated, there are consequences, fines and prosecution in the courts of law. So the major challenge is about people being ignorant about the law. But we are trying as much as possible to sensitize the people.
To educate people. Now, on that note, how can citizens be part of the fight? How can citizens, Muntu Wansi, day-to-day human being, you and away from your work, away from your desk or away from my desk as a Ugandan, how best are all of us expected to engage?
Everyone, where they live, there is always local council, LOC1. So I would advise that the people within the community, if there is any other noise polluting entity, let it be first addressed to the local authorities of that very area. And let the local authorities also do their part to sensitize the people and tell them that the truth of the matter is noise pollution is an offense. So if it begins with the local authorities, and then when we are to carry out these enforcements, our work will be lessened because people will already be having such information on ground. So let it be a collective responsibility to everyone.
Right. Are there numbers that we can call? Because many times, of course, you realize that as a Muntu Wansi or as a day-to-day human being, you realize that the authorities you're trying to approach many times are compromised. So even the help you're seeking is choked or stifled. So which numbers are there for us to make that phone call and directly approach NEMA?
On the NEMA website, there are toll-free lines that you can call on. Yes, so, and they will always pick you up. So if you can't call on those ones, then you can come to NEMA head office along Ginger Road. Yes, so your complaint can be lodged in. Right. Yes, and those ones who also have, who are good at things to do with IT, we have a system called eDoc. Someone can lodge in their complaint on eDoc. We also have developed LMIS, the LMIS system. It also has a provision. It also has a provision where people can log in their complaints.
Very profound. Getting into some of the comments, the bar owners in Kasusu Fort Portal, some say they have paid license, so they play noisy music up to 3 a.m. in the morning while all residents are trying to sleep. How can we be helped by NEMA?
So now, like as I said, every district has environment officers. So we work hand in hand with them. And they are the ones who also issue out such licenses of operation. So if at all they are violating, then let them recall their licenses.
Speaking of licenses, someone here is making a suggestion. Why doesn't NEMA get involved in licensing from the initial process of opening these bars and chargers instead of pretending to enforce? Why are you using that kind of language? But anyways, the main point here is a suggestion. Is it possible for NEMA to be part of the licensing process from start to finish?
NEMA does not license bars, neither does it license clubs. Our work is to enforce if there is a violation. I would give an example. Like here in Kampala, it's KCCA that licenses those places. Our work is to go and enforce in case there are violations. But I believe in their licenses, there are terms and conditions that are embedded therein.
Right.
Yes.
Very profound at that. Now, this conversation definitely has to come to a close as our time is first spent. Been speaking with Bate John, who is an environment inspector for noise, air quality and noxious smells at the National Environment Management Authority. What are your parting shots?
What?
Your parting shots. Your ending remarks.
Yes, thank you so much. I would encourage people to respect other people's well-being, health-wise, because I always give this example when I've gone to inspect and maybe the bar owners or the church owners are hesitant to listen to what I'm telling them or what the enforcement team is telling them. I normally tell them, what if you had your mother, an elderly mother or a father within the neighborhood and there is a polluting entity? How would you feel it?
It has to hit home.
Yes. So basically, let it be everyone's responsibility to ensure that much as I am playing music, let it be below the permissible limits, and let me be mindful about other people's health and well-being.
Thank you very much for your time and for educating us this morning. Been a pleasure having you, and thank you for watching UBC TV and Good Morning Uganda. For me, it ends here for today, but let's do this again tomorrow with the whole team, Robert, John, and myself. Have a lovely, lovely day.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Gain